Hello, my name is Kenny, and in this video, I'll be going over the accessibility and usability of Procreate. The Procreate app is a powerful and intuitive digital illustration mobile application that's available exclusively on Apple devices, specifically the iPad and iPhone. It's known for its robust learning system, numerous customizable brushes, and features like time-lapse recording of your artwork. Procreate is popular among both professional and amateur artists for its versatility in creating sketches, paintings, illustrations, and even animations. As a digital illustration application, the standard for accessibility and usability is higher than most other forms of interactive systems. This video will focus on analyzing whether or not the core functionalities of the app meet the mark or fall short in terms of usability and accessibility. So for the first usability principle, I will cover consistency, which entails the use of consistent sequences of actions in similar situations in order to make interactions clear for users. Across brushes, layers, animation, and reading modes, the same gesture vocabulary is utilized. So as you can see here in this picture, there's a two-finger tap for undo, the three-finger tap for redo, and the pinch and spread for zooming in and out. Keeping consistent gesture vocabulary helps reduce cognitive load and allows for development of muscle memory, which enhances fluid and predictable interactions with the app. Procreate is also consistent with their identical color chip, slider, and swatch patterns which they reuse. Here, in these three pictures, I underline the labels and patterns which they reuse throughout the color management bar. These elements serve to not only create a sense of uniformity and cohesion, but also to reinforce recognition over recall while using the app. The second usability principle is allowing for easy reversal of actions, which serves to relieve anxiety since users know that errors can be undone. This feature is very crucial for the functionality of this app as the illustration process is very much trial and error. So Procreate primarily demonstrates this through their undo and redo feature. A two-finger tap instantly reverses the last step. Holding two fingers triggers rapid undo with up to 250 steps preserves precision. And lastly, a three-finger tap redos changes. There's also a manual undo and redo button, as you can see on the sidebar. This flexibility encourages users to experiment with the app while providing a safety net from errors. Artists are allowed to freely experiment with brushes, tools, and also techniques with minimal worry, knowing that they can easily backtrack to the last step. So moving on to the accessibility principles, the first accessibility principle that I want to analyze is operability. This means that users must be able to navigate and operate the interface. Procreate has a function that hooks into key iPad OS accessibility APIs. VoiceOver announces menus, large text mode scales every control, motion filtering steadies shaky strokes, and users are able to remap to finger, pinch, and rotate gestures to single touch alternatives, or they can also disable them entirely. However, one thing to note is that the canvas itself still depends on precise multi-touch for zoom and rotation, which are core functions when using the app. The second accessibility principle is understandability, which means that users must be able to understand the information as well as the operation of the user interface. In the case of Procreate, icon-only toolbars keep the canvas uncluttered and sleek, but for newcomers and VoiceOver users, icons without persistent text labels raise the cognitive load. This can pose some problems as users must memorize what each icon represents as well as their respective functionality. And some icons may not be exactly intuitive to users at first. However, Procreate helps by flashing tool names, announcing color names, and also offering onboarding walkthroughs for users exploring the app. As you can see here, it's their Procreate Help Handbook. So overall, Procreate does do a solid job at applying these usability and accessibility principles to effectively allow for users to interact seamlessly with the application. The way in which these principles are incorporated fosters an environment that encourages users to freely and creatively use the app. One thing to note, though, is that the scope of accessibility is limited due to the inherent nature of the app. Procreate is inherently gesture-heavy and visual-first, Its core functionality is highly dependent on fine motor skills and spatial awareness, which can pose significant barriers to users with motor and visual impairments. However, Procreate does address and make up for this through methods mentioned earlier. Although there are natural limits on accessibility, the app still does push toward a more inclusive design, making it an overall great interactive platform for bringing your illustrations to life. Thank you.